Jaundice. How did we get there? What happens? How does it come into the body? Okay, let me just explain. There's something called bilirubin in the body. It's a yellowish substance. And that yellowish substance is produced when the red blood cells carrying oxygen around the body breaks down. The minute it breaks down, bilirubin is found inside the human body. Is baby going to die? That is jaundice automatically. And what happens? How do you get it out of your body? It's very, very simple. Don't shake, don't panic, just relax, take plenty of fluid. Don't forget we talked about the beneficial fruits and seeds and nuts that you should take during pregnancy, and then just help us to be breastfeeding that baby. You see that important precious baby in your custody, just continue breastfeeding the baby. Don't tell me you're taking ogi, you are taking beverage, you're taking spicy food. We don't need that now. We need solid nutrients, high fiber, balanced protein, good carbohydrates so that your breast milk can flow. Plenty of water, and then your breast milk can flow. As a matter of fact, if you find coconut, just help me to be chewing coconuts. At that point in time, plus coconut water, plus coconut itself, all of them, lick plates. The more you breastfeed your child, the more bilirubin finds its way out because your child will continue to pass urine. So keep feeding, keep feeding. The more you feed, the more they come out from the body. You see, it's a very, very simple process. But when you take it lightly, like you joke with it, you don't care to breastfeed, you don't care to give your child infant formula, you're busy checking Google and you're busy on the gossip session. If peradventure it gets complicated, listen, bilirubin that you see that I just said simple, or jaundice that I just said minor, can result to adenoid cerebral palsy. English, grammar. And this same thing that you are talking about can lead to brain damage. Yeah! Babyologymums have killed us. I didn't kill anybody. I'm just trying to tell you that you should understand that it can happen automatically, accidentally, when a baby is born. But it can be properly monitored. And I'm sure you've heard about when your baby needs to be laid under the sunlight, when your baby needs to be laid under the ray. I'm sure you've heard of that. You've seen it happen in the hospital several times. Do you now need to take drugs because your baby has jaundice? Listen, you need to take your vitamin D as a breastfeeding mom. And if your baby is not breastfeeding, you need to give your baby vitamin D supplements at that point in time. How do I know if my jaundice is getting worse? How do I even know I'm a first-time mom? I don't know. My first baby didn't even have it. I'm not a first-time mom. But my first baby didn't even have jaundice. I didn't even see any of this. I'm just seeing this. It is my village people that sent this. Who did I offend? Holy Ghost fire. Now, if your baby does not suck well, you need to start to check. If your baby is not eating well, you need to start to check. Once you notice that your baby's eyes, the white part of the eyes is turning yellow, you need to begin to check and say, doctor, could you please check my baby? There's no harm in asking such questions. Just ask. These are signs that the jaundice is not clearing, rather the jaundice is getting worse. Now, when your jaundice gets worse, what happens? Listen, mommies, we don't want it to get worse. So we might not even talk about it getting worse, because the sunlight will break down the indirect bilirubin in your child's body so that the body and the liver can process it directly and it gets out. So my headache today is not the cause of the problem. It's not the cause of the jaundice. It is how this jaundice will get out of our baby's body. And it can only get out of our baby's body when you breastfeed well, when you hydrate your baby well. Give your baby infant formula if you're doing infant formula, or give your baby breast milk. And you know, for your breast milk to flow, you need to be relaxed. Allow your baby to latch on the nipple very, very well. There's what you call the hind milk and there's what you call the fore milk. Some people call it hinder, some people call it hind. Whichever English that you are speaking, whether it is American, Queen's, Chinese English, is not the problem here. The problem is when your baby latches on the nipple, allow your baby to suck very well for at least 20 to 30 minutes. The very first fluid that comes out of your baby's, your breast milk is what will quench the baby's thirst. It is what will hydrate the baby. And then the more the baby continues to latch on the nipple, you can just be rubbing your baby's legs, you know, give your baby a palm massage, a soothing massage. Your baby will be more relaxed. Latch on the nipple, the baby will now start to get all the essential oils, all the essential fatty acids from the breast. That enjoyment. That is when you see the yellowish thick substance that is coming, creamy-like substance. Sometimes it looks purplish, then it begins to come out. After 20 to 30 minutes, let your baby latch on the other nipple and suck very well as well. And then once baby does it, don't worry yourself. And you are taking your vitamin D supplements as a breastfeeding mom, your baby is fine. Your pregnant care, your pregnancy marks, whichever one you're taking, your baby is fine. Now the question is, like, let's see. The question a lot of people will now be asking is, does jaundice affect my baby's weight? Does jaundice affect my baby's sleep? Does jaundice affect my baby's diaper? Yes. If your baby is not well hydrated, your baby will have dry diapers. And this is as a result of what we have been discussing about. Jaundice will definitely not affect your baby's weight. Jaundice will not make your baby restless. Because your baby has jaundice, your baby will still sleep and snore. The neighbors will know that there's a newborn baby snoring in our compound. The jaundice would also not affect your child's weight. But it is very, very important that you keep your child hydrated, feed your child all the time if you want your child's jaundice to clear in a few days. Sunlight, stop keeping your baby inside the house. Expose your babies to early morning sunlight between the hours of 9 and 11. Stop telling your house help to lock the gate and padlock the key, or stop putting blanket, or this is not the time to show that you have bed and you put your baby inside the bed. Excuse me, mommies, could you please expose our baby into early morning sunlight? We also need that vitamin D, because vitamin D is responsible for converting calcium in your baby's body. So you see the reason why sometimes it is some of you that even allows this problem that mistakenly or peradventure in a way find their way into our baby system. It is you that will now co-host them and now make them tenants in our baby's body. We don't want that. Bilirubin may still be high if you do not hydrate your baby very well. So you need to feed your baby very well on either formula or breast milk. But don't forget, breast milk is the safest. I love to say this thing. It's the cheapest, confidently. It's the greatest investment. As a matter of fact, I call it your child's first will. Whatever house you're going to buy in future, or Ferrari or Jeep, listen, the very first investment that you can give to your child's first will is to breastfeed. If you're not breastfeeding due to some medical complications, please, I don't want you to feel bad. We are not here to make you feel bad. We are only trying to make you understand that if you are opportune to do it, and do it rightly and do it well, it is very, very important. And peradventure you cannot breastfeed, ensure you choose the best formula that is most suitable for your child. There's something called the best and the most suitable. What we're talking about here is what is most suitable. Vitamin D would help to reduce your child's bilirubin level, and every infant formula contains vitamin D, but your breast milk does not contain vitamin D. Which one is this again that we are hearing? Yes, your breast milk does not contain vitamin D, so you need to make it a religious intake of vitamin D, but your infant formula contains your vitamin D. Have you been blessed? Have you been honored? Have you been elevated physically, morally? You now know the right things to do. You don't have an excuse that I am a very first time mom. I don't know what to do. No. There's nothing called that. Neonatal jaundice is something that you and I should not pray for. And peradventure it happens, breastfeed your child, get your child well hydrated. Now the question is, can I give my newborn baby water? As long as your baby is latching on the nipple very well, your baby can get hydrated countless times as much as the baby latches on the nipple and feeds well. So you don't need to give your baby water. Say, I don't care. I'm not interested. My baby's body will definitely process it. My baby's liver will definitely do that responsibility, because my baby's liver, listen, your liver is responsible for flushing out unwanted toxins in the body. Yes, but don't forget, your baby is still growing and is immatured. Hence, your baby's liver is immature to be able to flush out bilirubin in the body. Now, When bilirubin becomes too much in the body, what does this result to? I already told you. Danger. Basically, it's called hyperbilirubinemia, but we don't want it. As sweet as that grammar is, as interesting as it sounds, there are some English that I do not want to be cognitive with. I do not want to be associated with them because their adverse effects are very, very dangerous. You see children developing neurodivergent issues these days. You don't want to understand that there are foundational causes of this problem. So you owe yourself, you owe us, you owe the whole society the responsibility to ensure that you feed your child, you nourish your child with nutrients. On this note, I'll see you some other time. Don't forget to tell somebody that Babyology moms are the best moms, and all the best moms should be on this platform because this is where we want to get it right. Thank you.